What's up everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at render as the AI sector in GPU computing power has become a very hot narrative. Now this is going to continue throughout the bull market. I believe this is going to be one of the narratives that does extremely well, very similar to layer 1 and layer 2 cryptocurrencies. In the last bull run, I believe that AI is going to be one of those top gainers, and so render is definitely one of the cryptocurrencies that is leading in the narrative market. And so we can see here currently trading right around $7.44. Now this has went up substantially after the Nvidia earnings yesterday that they have continued to push up. There's a big shortage for GPU and computing power, and that is where render comes into play. And so if you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future content. And while you are down there, there is a link to Margex, where you can leverage trade up to 40 different cryptocurrencies. On the platform here, you can also request other cryptocurrencies to be added, so make sure to go on there and request for render to be added to the platform. And so let's go ahead and talk about a price target here for render before we get started. And so I definitely think there's a lot of potential for render moving forward. Right now it looks relatively large, right? We're looking at render, $2.8 billion market cap. However, at the peak of the bull run, there is so much potential. I'd like to compare this to Cardano, right? Cardano got a lot of attention, and I think render will get the same attention that Cardano did. And so at the peak of the bull run here for Cardano, we were looking at a $95 billion market cap, whereas render currently at $2.8 billion. And so that would be a potential price of render right around $250, right? There's still a lot of upside for this cryptocurrency. I'm not saying that's going to happen over the next few days or weeks. It may take 6 to 18 months to happen. However, I think there's a ton of potential for this cryptocurrency, especially because they have so many partnerships with large corporations, right? The CEO has mentioned that they are working with Apple, they are working with Nvidia, and then they also have other companies that they're working for as well, especially because AI and ChatGPT are becoming so popular. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some reasons why here. We have an upcoming workshop with Nvidia. This is one of the biggest AI conferences coming up March 18th through the 21st, and so in about a month. And one thing to note here is that Jules, the CEO of Render, is going to be speaking at this event. And so he's going to be talking about GPUs and the AI-driven rendering and how it's going to impact gaming, visual effects, media, design, and art into the 2030s and beyond. And so he's going to be discussing the roadmap for Octane Render and the Render Network, which is the cryptocurrency that we're talking about today, and how the industry's first blockchain distributed GPU rendering network and 3D marketplace will affect the future of AI. And so this is definitely something that's going to be playing a big role in the price of render coming up. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the chart here for render. As you can see here, this has pumped up substantially over the last couple of weeks. Now I did mention this right around $4.20 in the Patreon group. If you're interested in joining that, there is a link underneath the video. And so I could see this cryptocurrency here consolidating over the next couple of weeks here. We could see it consolidate, forming a bull flag, very similar to what it did down below. And then after that, we could see a breakout to the upside here. And so we're currently at an all-time high here for render. You can see here, we are at that level of resistance. And so that's definitely something to keep in mind. Like I said here, we could see some consolidation, and then we could see a break to the upside right before that event coming up for Nvidia for the conference in about a month. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. This may be a good time to accumulate render. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the tokenomics, as they have initiated a burn mechanism in December of 2023. Now this has been live for about 2 months, and so let's go ahead and take a look at the impact of this on the price of render. And so we can go ahead and see here that since they started burning 2 months ago, they have burned approximately 35,000 render. Now that's approximately 17,000 render per month, which is close to burn about 200,000 render per year. Now, that's assuming that they are not going to continue to get more clients on board as they have more people utilizing their services. They're going to continue to burn more render, and so I'd only expect that to continue to grow, right? They've only been doing this for 2 months. They're really starting to gain some traction. They're starting to get noticed. Apple's using them, Nvidia is using them as a customer. And so there's definitely going to be a big use case for render. I've heard a lot of people say this is the Airbnb of GPUs, right? And so they are offering unused GPUs to be rented out. So instead of trying to buy a lot of the GPU chips that are very hard to come by, right? We just had Nvidia go ahead and have their earnings and they mentioned that the customer demand for Nvidia chips is so far above supply that the CEO has to discuss how fairly the company decides who can buy them. And so that just shows right there that there's so much demand for the Nvidia chips in GPU computing power that there's definitely going to be demand for render services that they are providing of unused GPUs. Now, renting those out using the render network is definitely something that I personally think is going to be very popular moving forward over the next 6 to 18 months, especially as the AI network continues to increase and become more popular. There's going to be a lot of competition in the space, and so if they're not able to get their hands on the Nvidia chips for GPU computing power, they will look for other sources, and that is where render could come into play. And so this is definitely a cryptocurrency to keep your eye on. As I mentioned, it has pumped up substantially over the last couple of weeks. I am looking for this to consolidate. With the upcoming conference with Nvidia, I would expect this cryptocurrency to pump above $10 and continue into price discovery as there continues to be demand in the AI space. And so definitely keep this on your watch list. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.